What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Dra'Quel, and welcome back to my channel, Dra'Quel Legacy. And today is going to be a Dra'Quel time. If you've been here for some time, then you know my most videos, from the beginning up until, the current moments are Dra'Quel times. Dra'Quel times, if you're new to the channel, are my stories about my life. In other words, the story times is Dra'Quel times. Instead of story, you just put Dra'Quel. So, you get the drift. But today's gonna be Dra'Quel time. I do not know what number we on because there's so many Dra'Quel times. I want to say we on like Dra'Quel time 21, 22, one of those two. But yes, if you're new, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And like I say, as you grow, I grow, and as I grow, you grow. But I know I've been gone for a while. That's probably the first thing you guys are definitely quite thinking about, like, where have I been, where has he been. If you have been wondering, if you haven't been wondering, and you kind of just been like, he probably gave up. I'm not giving up. I just been going through a lot of transitioning, a lot of growth and development, and just finding myself, continuing to find myself. But I got a lot of good things for the end of the video to tell you guys, a lot of good things, 2 special channels that's coming. So stay tuned for those. Those will be in the description, but I have a special guest at the end of the video. And then, yeah. But for, like I say, as you grow, I grow. And as I grow, you grow. Once again, it's Dra'Quel. Let's get into this Dra'Quel time. So, yeah, if you have made it this far, from the journey from Indiana days to, now in Hobbs and then the future videos to come. And you guys know that I am currently in Hobbs. As we know, Hobbs, I call it Hobbs full of slobs. Just due to the simple fact that, I came here with the mindset of, being in New Mexico, and it wasn't Albuquerque. And I'll get into Albuquerque in this video as well. But Hobbs, man, if you seen previous video, Hobbs, is for truck drivers. Hobbs is for people who are in the oil field. Hobbs is for people who, mostly that field. I would not recommend Hobbs if you don't like dirt, if you don't like no jobs, anything except oil field, or truck driving. I would not recommend living here. Just from my perspective, everybody's opinion is different. Everyone's different. It's just my perspective. That's why we're here now. But Hobbs had its good and its bad. When I first moved to Hobbs, I moved here August 12th, 2021. August 12th, 2021, my whole life changed. From that point, before up until that point, I had a lot of situations. I was in Indiana, had my 2-bedroom apartment with my girlfriend, Kennedy, my dog, Charco, and my other 2 dogs, 18 and 38. But, a lot of stuff happened to where I wasn't thinking straight, and one thing led to another, and then I had left. And that, once I left, it's like I never thought that my life would be flipped once I left Indiana from that point till now. So once I left Indiana, and then my whole life flipped to then leaving Indiana cold, leaving Indiana to then coming to New Mexico. I don't know where my head was at. I wasn't fully aware. I wasn't fully thinking. And so I moved in August 12th. If you remember the first video when I came here, I showed you guys everything. From the apartment and everything like that, kind of the town, stuff like that. Just a little introduction of what Hobbs was like, and what there was to need and see and want in Hobbs and to expect, per se. But I didn't know just then what I was getting myself into, what I had gotten myself into. And so basically, the apartment thing, that's been great. Everything from my apartment has been wonderful. I've struggled quite a bit, living here. I have struggled a lot of bit living here. But, in doing that, I found myself even more. Because there's a lot of times I didn't have, for some time, Kennedy wasn't here. For some time, my dogs wasn't here. For some time, it was just me. And so in that being here in Hobbs, I was able to, I went through a lot, and it humbled me because Indiana, I come from working at warehouses. I come from warehouse setting and just being able to make a lot of money. You got Uber Eats, you got DoorDash, or you got warehousing, or you got other avenues of money, revenues of money. I came here with the perception thinking it would be the same, and it was not the same. My first job when I moved here was a garage job. I was making $12 an hour. I was making $11.50 an hour. Then they gave me like a 50-cent raise because I stayed for a week. Basically, they had people that would leave within that week span, so they didn't get that full raise. But me, I stayed the week because I needed the money. So they gave me 50 cents, and then I made $12. So then that job, basically just, I had to go, people's houses, apartments, whatever. And I had to, me and my partner, I was an apprentice, so I'm working on garages, everything as far as putting it together, breaking it down, so on and so forth. I only stayed at that job for like 2 checks. My 2 checks was $150 each. They both was $150. So you only can imagine my rent is $900, plus my car payments at the time, plus my car insurance at the time, plus my phone bills at the time. So you only can imagine what $150 can do for somebody. So then I left those positions. Then I went to another temp job, and that was at this place called, I think, Calsac Spice Plant. It's like 30 minutes away from where I live. I went there twice. I've worked there literally 2 times. I've quit, then I had to go back because I needed the money, and then I quit again. And basically that job consisted of me then making $13. So I went from $11.50 to then $12 to then $13. And doing that, it was okay, but I have asthma, and there was real strict. You can't be on your phones. Don't expect to be on your phones because you're gonna have spices and chili powders and everything all up on you. So you can't even think to touch your phone. On top of you not being able to breathe, and you have to wear a mask there because you have to be working around spices and stuff like that. That job was over, said and done with within the same day I quit. Like literally, I went there, was there for 30 minutes. Texted the lady at the time, said I can't do it, and I never fucking returned. I left, and I did return eventually. I came back, left again the same day. I don't know. But it was an experience, and it humbled me. It humbled me, it humbled me, it humbled me. And for y'all out there, y'all young men, y'all young women, whoever is watching, humble yourself. And being here really humbled me. So then the next job I had was at Lee County Road Department. And that job was probably the best opportunity I ever had living in Hobbs, probably ever in a long time, because that job allowed me to be able to grow as a man, being independent, and just, building with myself and trying to find myself. Even in doing so, I went from, the first job making 12 to the second job making 13 to the third job, God finally blessed me making 15. And yes, y'all out there might be thinking $15. Hey, 15 was better than 12. 15 was better than 11.50. 15 was better than 13. Especially to have to pay $900 for rent, insurance, cars, phone bills, utilities, everything as a whole. And not to mention food. So then I got that job on October 13th. On my birthday, I got that job. And, from there I was working outside. I was driving pieces of equipment, mowing the grass. I was doing everything you could think of, just manually construction, basically. Construction, working with asphalt and everything like that. I was there up until I passed my 90 days. I was there every single day. A friend of mine who still probably most likely works there, his name is Terrence. He's the only other black guy I've ever seen in Hobbs at that point until now. We was the only 2 black people around, Hispanics, around, whites, stuff like that, but it was just me and him. I'm the young black guy, he's the older black guy, so you kind of get where that was going, but we didn't care. We put all our racial thoughts to the side and just, we had something to do, and that was take care of our families and ourselves. And that job was a good experience. I was there from October 13th, my birthday, up until December 23rd, and then I lost it due to, certain things that, I don't know to this day. It kind of just let me go, and I'm not finna get into it, but, working there, I wasn't eating. Working there, I was depressed because at that time, me and Kennedy, was divided. Me and Kennedy was not talking. At that time, Kennedy was in Houston and I was in Hobbs. So, imagine you with somebody for, at the time, 3 years, to then, you leave her and your family, everything behind. And then you come to basically start a new life, and I had to deal with backlash from certain individuals. I'm not gonna name drop, I'm not gonna say a gender, they know who they are, but I got certain backlash and threats and everything you can think of to me. And all of my mindset was just like, I asked myself, why? or hearing Kennedy's tell me, ask me why, or just, just not knowing why I did it. Like, I thought I did it so that way I can, see what the house would be like, and, basically how a man goes sees the house before he brings his family into it. That's my mindset, on top of my anger in that. But in doing so, I lost everything, literally everything. So working at that job, it was hard for me, but it gave me time to, focus on a lot. Like, if I get Kennedy back, or, if I get a raise, because they said once you get hired on within those 90 days, you'll make $21 an hour. And at that time, that was a lot to me, and that meant a lot to me. But that didn't mean as much to me as Kennedy did. So, I just thugged it out, and I just hoped and prayed for the best. Despite every day I'm not eating, every day there I'm working my ass off for 10 hours a day, or every day there I'm just hearing, Kennedy's voice. So I'm hoping and wishing I can, go back in time and fix certain puzzles and pieces that I couldn't construe together. But, in doing that, she came back. She did come back. It took a lot for her to come back, just due to things that I had did, because I'm not perfect. But I'm grateful and thankful, and I got what I prayed for. So fuck the jobs and fuck Hobbs, but I got my main job back, and that's my girl, my lady. So I'm thankful for that. Even though we go through our ups and downs, we still here, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. But yes, that's Hobbs. Hobbs is nothing here. It's one Walmart. I call that Walmart the mall. We got a Wingstop, literally one Wingstop. That was like my food every now and then when I had the money. If I had the money, you got like $3-4 Generals, 4 Family Dollars. That's pretty much it. It's like a hotel stop. If you want to go through, travel through, and you got a hotel and you want stops and stuff like that, then you got those places to go to. But one day it came where we had to get money, and DoorDash at the time was my necessity. It was something that I needed, something that I was doing, so that way, we could have food, transportation, so on and so forth. Went to Santa Fe once for an apartment, and everything with that, was dealing with a lot of racism. I remember, if y'all seen the Santa Fe video. If you haven't, go check it out. I said, Santa Fe or Colorado, which one do you think we chose? And that was my first time going. That time, I went to Colorado. It was nothing but stairs. You got a black guy, tattoos, dreadlocks, always have my beanie on, no matter the weather, and just dealing with looks, a lot of stairs. And I was doing DoorDash, so in Colorado, I was getting a lot of stares by a specific race. No whites, no blacks, no Mexicans, but the other race. And that shit it was hard. But I come from Indiana, so I'm kind of already used to that. So I put that to the side, and I made my little money. But it was snowing, and I was paying for Airbnbs and hotels, and every day trying to do that on top of, making sure y'all can eat, on top of making sure that you still have to get home and everything like that. I was trying to get us an apartment, and all this other stuff happened, but Colorado didn't go as planned. So then Santa Fe came about, because it was I think 2 hours away, something like that. Went to Santa Fe for an apartment, and everything was cool. I applied, I got approved, did everything I needed to do. And right the day before I was supposed to get my keys, the guy had told me, okay, we need $1,000 some plus dollars. And I'm like, so you said, hey, I paid for the lights to get in my name, the gas, everything to be in my name. And I was at the point where I had to get the keys, but he last second said I had to pay $1,000. I didn't have that, so then I stayed in Santa Fe, and then, make the money and stuff like that. But we, at one point, the whole point, me and Kennedy, we were sleeping out. It was a gated community. We were sleeping in the parking lot, like outside of the apartments, but inside the gated community. And we just slept there, and I would wake up at 8 o'clock, sometimes 9, 10, 11, 12, most likely 8 o'clock, and I do DoorDash all day. Literally wake up at 8 o'clock, and stop at 1 o'clock, and in doing that, it was a lot of racism in Santa Fe. More racism in Santa Fe than it was in Colorado, ironically. And Santa, you may be thinking Santa Fe, New Mexico. You would think that, you know, the Hispanics or the blacks, there was no blacks. It was whites. It was like a Colorado / Mexico, so it was like a mix. But the Hispanics, they were very different. You know, you had a lot of junkies, you had a lot of tweakers, you had a lot of homeless, you had a lot of poverty, and you had a lot of money too. But in doing so, being there, I had to deal with, you know, we would go to Mavericks. The apartment, you know, was right here. We'll leave out, go over a hill, go left, and then you got a Speedway gas station, a Mavericks gas station. Maverick gas station, I go inside the gas station, and it was an incident that happened with my lady and the worker. He thought she was stealing when she came in with a bottle of water that was empty. So she, mind you, we were sleeping outside in the car. We had food and stuff like that, had gas money, so we wasn't like homeless. We were expecting to get our keys and live in this apartment, but that was false. So she went in, had her bottle, got her water, and I guess he thought she was stealing when she came in with an empty bottle, but he assumed otherwise. But prior to that, me and her would go to this gas station every single night, every single day, in a day or night, every day we could, because it was right there. So that happened, and then I approached him respectfully, like a man to man, and basically let it be straight. Like, don't let that happen again. You know, just, you know, let him know who I am, and don't play that. You know, and I don't play that especially. So then one thing led to another. He didn't argue with me. He then said sorry. I went and got her, and he said sorry to her. And it was this woman there. She then snuck out. I go get her. Kennedy comes in, and then in doing so, we talking. And right when her and him and us finished the conversation, we then walk out. But inside of the store, I kept seeing the lady stare at me through that window outside. She kept hitting her cigarettes, but never smoked it. She just kept hitting it. So I'm like, something's off. But went outside. As soon as I walked outside, I look. We walk outside. You would have thought, we just killed somebody or something. So we walk outside. It's just. I don't know if he was a supervisor. I don't know what he was. He was a cop. It was like 3 cop cars. But he walked past me, and I have a Glock, 30 stick, etc. But I had a jean jacket on. So my jean jacket was covering the extended mag, but I was walking out, And he walked past me, and I was following him with my eyes, and he didn't think I was following him with my eyes. So as I'm looking, I'm following him with my eyes. He walking past me, I'm walking past him, and some tell me, look. I look, and he looked me up and down and try to play it off. Then he fake goes in the store for like 10 seconds, comes out, and then he comes back quick and grabs me and tries to like grab my hand, out my pocket, and tries to grab my gun. But I didn't. I pulled away, and then he had a partner with him who was real respectful. He got my gun, took one out the chamber, put it on top of the car, etc. Needless to say, he was very disrespectful. And from that point on, I didn't realize what we were getting ourselves into. Because just imagine that first encounter. Imagine going into this gas station, you being respectful, and you being accused of being, something that you're not. When we were being nothing but respectful. Just being perceived the wrong way when we had on Nike. We had the car, we had everything. We looked clean as hell. We looked nice. We didn't look like we were homeless. But once again, you're in Santa Fe, you're around no blacks. That's like the home of the Native Americans. They're extinct. They ain't there. It's just whites. It's like Colorado, literally, but mixed with Mexicans. But the Hispanics or Mexicans, whatever they are, want to be called, they perceive to be white. So it didn't go with people like me. That's why you didn't see people like me there. But anyway, but I never knew we was getting ourselves into. And that encounter was because he literally it got to the point where he got in his car and he was just sitting there but talking stuff to Kennedy and me. More so with Kennedy. He was talking to Kennedy crazy, and they were back and forth, and I'm talking, but for no reason, just an ego. Never seen him again. Then from that point on, every time I was doing my DoorDash, every single night, I would get pulled over. Like, literally every single night for like a week and a half, I would get pulled over for them saying my insurance, or when I had that, or them saying my tag expired, or them saying my tents, or there's so much, he say, she say bullshit, that I didn't, it was just bullshit. And my mind was like, we were 4 hours away from Hobbs, let's get home. But then we went home finally, and as soon as I stepped foot back in Hobbs, I got pulled over. I got a $300 ticket, for speeding in the school zone when I was going 40. The officer was literally covering up the speed limit sign, so I didn't even see that, and a school bus, but he clocked me for going 40 in the school zone. But he gave me, a $300 ticket that I'm still paying to this day. And then we then stayed here, saw there was no money, saw there was no growth of being here. It was like a trap. I call this the land of entrapment. They call it land of enchantment, but it's land of entrapment. But then we went back to Santa Fe because he then said, whatever. We went back to Santa Fe and literally went back to Santa Fe. An incident happened, several incidents, but the first, I was not doing a dash, I wanted a high C, 2 high C's, a large fry, some ice cream, and some cookies. We was late dashing, we going to snack, whatever. But I go to the second window. It's a guy, he works there, whatever. He was just talking crazy because we was like, why do you have to make us pull forward to make the drinks? If you literally put the cup down, you can put the cup down, press a button, and then it will spin through, put the drink in, and boom, in like 10 seconds. He didn't want to do that. He said we making his job hard because we didn't want to pull up. We like, bro, just give us the drink. Like, we don't have to pull up for an extra 5 minutes because whoever we got behind us, just give us our drink, because I'm sure their drinks is ready. I'm sure their food is not hot. Their food is hot, and whatever. And he said we give him a hard time, slammed the window. And so then that triggered me. Once it triggered me, once I have anger problems. So once something like that pissed me off, I feel like I was being played like something I wasn't. He gave me one juice, and then I got the other. As soon as he gave me the other one, he gave me one juice, and then as he was handing me the other one, I'm already taking the lid off. But I seen the first juice he handed me, it's like he squeezed it as if he was trying to drop it. So he was already plotting something, and I was plotting something. So that ain't gonna mix. That's not gonna mix. Like, he angry plotting, I'm angry plotting. So in the mix of him giving me that drink that already was open, I'm like, okay, shit. Take the lid off, and then I threw the juice in there. It hit him. Then he throw the juice back. He throw the second juice back, and then that come in the car, get Kennedy, get the whole car sticky, get my phone, everything. It was like, bro. And we was turned with him. It was just a whole bunch of rah on his part. We was ready for whatever. Rah. Just for him to call the police. And he stopped showing up to work, I'll say that. He stopped showing up to work. He never was seen again after that day. He disappeared after that. I'll say that. I didn't do nothing, so no, I'm not saying I did anything to the man, hurt the man, nothing. I do DoorDash, and I happen to always go to that place as a DoorDasher, and he never was there. So that's the end of that. Another incident was I always give people food. If I got money, my girl know, I know. If anybody really hurt, she's the only anybody around me, and she's not just the anybody. But if I got cash or food, whatever, I'm going to give it away. I'm not going to throw it away unless I really want to or just don't care to give it to nobody. But 99% of the time, I give it to somebody. So it was this lady. She was an old white woman. Not old, maybe in like her 30s, maybe 40s. And she had, I gave her like some large, I got it for free. Because I did a dash, and the lady I did the dash for, she was in a whole different state. So I got paid for that and free food. So I'm like, we don't need this. We getting money, we getting food. We don't need this. Let me give it to her. I gave it to this lady. As I'm walking the bag to her, it's a black guy. He homeless too, of course. Got a suitcase, red pants, red jacket. I see him mugging her as I'm giving her the food. So I'm like, okay, something's like instant, like, watch him. I'm watching him the whole time. Still, acting nice to her, but whole time watching him look at her and me, but look at her. I go in a gas station, put the $10 on pump 3, boom. As soon as I come out, that quick, he done threw her food on the ground, called her all type of bitches, all type of shit like this and that. I help her pick her stuff up. You know, she was hurt. She smelled like pee. No offense. She smelled like pee. She was hungry. You can see it in her face. She was hungry. She was hungry. And I don't play about, you know, I come from growing up around women. So like, I don't already play that role. So I don't play that shit. So, you know, she didn't want, she was mad. She was mad at me. She was more so crying to me and told me everything. And then, you know, I then left, and then I saw him, and then I approached him, you know, and then it was finna lead to a whole bunch of stuff. Needless to say, you know, to make a long story short, you know, I almost, you know, ended his life and then ended my life. And not ended my life in a per se, I get hurt, but more so I could have made a dumb decision, and that dumb decision, you know, could have led to me not even being able to make this video, me not even being able to make this video. But as I was finna do that, I thought my life like flashed before my eyes. Like literally, I thought about Kennedy and the dogs and us in Santa Fe. Like if I made that decision to do something to that man, how, you know, because he was on that type of time, and I was too. But he like calmed down or whatever. I don't know, he was homeless. He didn't have nothing to lose. I had a lot to lose to say, because if I would have made that decision, then shit, she would have probably been in Santa Fe, stranded or anything. And I thought of her because she said my name, my real name, Dra'Quel. I didn't hear her. She said Kale, didn't hear her. She said my middle name, and I heard her. And then once then I then stopped. And then, you know, long story short, right as he walked away, a cop drove past. So like, it felt like deja vu. And I could have made a dumb decision, but I thought about her. I thought about her more than me. I thought about her because if I was by myself, I wouldn't have been here. If I was by myself, I wouldn't have been here. I would have did something that I was going to do. But she was there, and she was my responsibility, as well as the animals that was in the car. And that's all I cared about. That's why I did all the DoorDash, did everything I've done. So then that was that. A lot of situations, I would go in a gas station. I go in a fucking gas station, and I got this woman. She was at mind you, I did DoorDash. I go in a gas station. First off, I want some M&Ms. I get the M&Ms, then I see like some beef jerky. I'm like, how much is beef jerky? She like, I don't know. Mind you, she works here. You can tell she's been working here for her whole fucking life. So then she's watching me. I put them down in the right spot. I don't just be a nigga and throw them anywhere. I put them in their exact same spot I got them from. Excuse me, sports about water. You know, you OG, you know water. My girl be on my case about water. I'm drinking water. But yes, shout out her, my girl. But yeah. So I go in. I put the M&Ms back. I still got the beef jerky because I'm like, this shit sound fire. I'm high as hell. I'm fucking in Santa Fe. I'm off my pen. I'm feeling great. So, you feel me? Boom. I go in there, and I then get to the register. How much is this? She's looking at my waist the whole time, like just staring at my waist the whole time. I'm like, I always know when I see them eyes go down, y'all ain't looking at no print. Y'all ain't looking at nothing like with a woman. No, y'all looking at that firearm. Y'all looking at that firearm, and it be men that look, women that look, kids that look, whatever. And I know when them eyes go down, I know exactly what you're looking at. I'm already 10 steps ahead. So she looking at that the whole time, asking her what's the price. Then she scanned it. That shit was like $8 fucking. Cause they taxes is different there. Like they food prices, McDonald's chicken nuggets might be $4 here. They shit like damn near $7 for a 10-piece. So it was a lot of price. It was so close to Colorado, so the prices was like right there. The prices was up there, so it was $8. And at that time, that's when gas started rising. I was doing DoorDash, so you know the gas was up there. I put 20 in the tank, and I'm like, I don't want that. I swear to God, she took the candy, snatched it. I walk out, tell my girl about it. Then as soon as it's like if I wouldn't had stopped my gas at $27. If I would have let that shit get to 30, then the cop, he pulled up. Like, it got to 27. I went across the street to McDonald's, and literally 2 seconds later, the cop pulled up, looking around like, you pulled, so she called the cops. I don't know why, if I bought gas and I don't know. It's different. It's different. That was a white lady. And I've been in there before, and she's seen me before. That's the weird part. But then we get our food. The fucking food was cold. The fries was cold. Everything was cold. And then that was that. But Santa Fe, I ain't gonna make this about Santa Fe. Santa Fe, if you black, don't go there. I'm gonna say that. If you black, don't go there. Because another incident happened. This is the last incident. I'm off fucking Santa Fe. I went to a park. I was doing DoorDash. My girl was asleep. It was like a hot day or whatever. I got my 2 dogs, my Rottweiler and my pit, you know. I'm in this nice, rich area. It's a big-ass park, big space, you know, a field. I go away from all the people to go in this big field. I swear to God, I let my dogs out. They go to the field. We walk to the field. My pit, she kind of wanders. So she ran to the street. She as soon as she run to the street, it's a white man. He just you see him, you can just hear his engine. Like he's in a fucking Honda Civic. You can hear that. I'm like, he got a Hellcat. Like that bitch, he was speeding so fast. But it's like he was forcing his car to go faster than it should have gone. We was somewhere in a rich area, so he supposed to go like 30. Not snitching, but shit, hey, our life was at jeopardy, and I'm not snitching now. But you can hear the car. And he purposely tried to hit the dog, and it got to the point I stepped in the street, and he then finally saw me in the street, and then he stopped right there and almost hit us. So then I get my pit. I still apologize to him, even though I should have fucking snapped. But I'm like, nope, I ain't gonna be that nigga or that nigger, and I'm not gonna be that guy. So then, it ain't worth my time. He gonna call the cops anyway. 9 times out of 10, he gonna call the cops. Dreads. You know the rundown. I'm the only nigga here with dreads. So then, boom. As soon as I cross the street, mind you, a car pulls up. And in doing that, they seen me get out the car. And they seen me in the field by myself with the dogs. They still had to and seen us almost got hit. They then see me walk into my car after seeing all that. They open their door and let their dog out. Then once, I was finna open the door to let my dogs in the car, my other dog, the pit that wanders, heard the barking. My dog runs down there and just sniffs and runs past them. I'm flagging them down. My Rottweiler, she was small as hell at the time. And the pit was, harmless, unless she needs to be on that, And then it's this white guy and this Mexican guy. It's this Mexican guy. He's like an older guy. And he's with his daughter. And then her boyfriend's like a white tweaker. He ain't got no teeth. So he owns some shit. He just rah. Get your fucking dogs, man. What the fuck, dude? Why the fuck you got your dogs not on a leash, man? I'm like, bro, what is you talking about? Chill out, bro. Nobody worry about your dogs. I'm walking past y'all to get my dogs. Man, get your fucking dogs on a leash, man. Go get the fuck out of here, man. He got a mask on, but talking shit. I snap on him, and then, his daughter's boyfriend want to be Superman, and he want to kind of talk. I'm like, bro, you need to chill the fuck out too. And then he then said sorry, and as he turned his back, he said, get the fuck out of here. I couldn't hear him. I then turned back and got back to snapping. And then he reaches, I'm like, we arguing. I'm like, man, I ain't trying to argue. What y'all trying to do with this, man? I'm trying to fight, shoot, knife, whatever you trying to do. I'm on whatever the fuck you on. By myself, my girl in the car. I got my pit and my ride down the fucking street by all these other dogs. And then I'm just like, man, fuck, what y'all trying to do? And then I'm like, I can't go chase them. I'm not worried about them at this point. I'm worried about you, because now you talking shit. I ain't even worried about the animals no more. They gonna come back. And the Rottweiler came back, and my pit eventually came back. But he then reaches for something, and then his girl was like, you don't need that. And then he had a miniature fucking baseball bat, puts that back. Then he comes around, and then he's like, he was close but not close enough. And then he takes his jacket off, then he gets a knife out and gets to dancing with it and shit. So you imagine you angry, you arguing with these niggas. A nigga pull out a knife and get the goddamn dancing with that motherfucker. You think he would have hit them folks with that motherfucker? You would have thought this nigga was at a circus. I was like, my whole mood was like, bro, I went from angry to what? Question this man, what? He said, I see you got something though. What's that? I said, what you think it is? Soon as I reach, he said, nah. Soon as I reach, nah, man. We can have a fair one. So mind you, he tried to up it on me, a knife, but dancing with it. To then, as soon as I grip this motherfucker, oh man, no, bro, we can just one-on-one, man. I knew you had something. Why would you play with your life, you fucking retard? Like, why would you try to play with your life like that? Because I could have just did that to your ass. But no, I didn't. Spared you. For what? I don't know. Spared you. But once again, I had to think about Kennedy. I had to think about the dogs. And I had to think about them. I couldn't think about me. I had to think about them. And that's what I did. So then they get in the car. I think get Kennedy. And then shit, I'm like, I got something else in the trunk too, y'all, which I really trying to do. And then his girl was talking shit, and then fucking they talking, meet us over here. Whole time, the dad that started off popping off at the mouth, he done told some white fucking Karen bitch, yeah, he tried to rob us with a gun. Why would I try to rob y'all with a gun if I got more money on me than y'all niggas got in your fucking, you niggas ain't even have windows. They had trash bags as windows. I'ma rob y'all for what? Well, y'all, I have a Rottweiler and a pit, a red-nosed pit and a Rottweiler. What the fuck do I need to rob you for? Like, I got more money in my pocket than you probably do at home. Like, I didn't understand, but they just sped off, and then that was that. And then after that bullshit, you in the daytime, I'm doing fucking DoorDash, got the windows down, and I get pulled over for tints. The cop got on fucking shades, a Ranger. He turns. I'm at a green light. He then turns, stops me, and talking about my tints. Mind you, he never took off his glasses. And I just got pulled over so many times in Santa Fe. Like, I got pulled over more times than I can goddamn piss. Fucking going to hospitals, and you got security guards saying, y'all gotta get out. We just come in this bitch to fucking change our clothes, because shit, we didn't have Airbnb money like that. We was going to our apartment that we thought we were getting. That's where we were sleeping. So we gonna change inside of this hospital, a hospital that's, open to the public. And you got motherfucking security, top flight security. You can't be in here. It's private property. Since when the fuck was a hospital private property? But you got a person here coming here to get seen. I didn't understand it. But, that shit was so different. And then, come to find out that apartment guy that, we were finna live at, he done got fired because shit, he probably did whatever he did and we was finna live there. And they dug into it just to say I got denied, but I don't know how I got denied for the apartment if, you feel me, if I don't know how I got denied for the apartment if I signed, I got approved and was about to get the keys. Like, y'all seen the videos where we was finna live. The last incident though, I was doing DoorDash and my tire, I ran over a shard, I ran over a bag, like a brown paper bag, but filled with glass and nails. But I didn't think that. I just saw the bag and I didn't think nothing in it. I was gonna blow up my tire. My tire blew, rode all the way to the crib. As I'm going to the crib in Santa Fe, I look behind me. It was a guy who, farther down, he crashed into a pole. Meanwhile, you got a cop who sees that. I see that. He ain't worried about helping that person. He worried about pulling somebody over. Pull somebody over. Me and my girl and my dogs, we go to the fucking Maverick gas station and we park. And then I kept saying, I'm like, somebody gonna fuck with us. I kept saying it. Swear to God, I'm in my dream now. At this point, we done went to see and used the restroom. I didn't even want to go in there. I parked the car away from people so you can know, like, don't even fuck with this car. My tire is flat, and I'm in my sleep. Mind you, I kept saying the police gonna mess with us because they mess with us over 10 times being there, literally every single day, if not every other day, but most likely every single day. So we literally sleep, we literally are fucking sleep. In my dream, I have a dream that a cop is knocking on the window. And in my dream, I'm arguing with them. Swear to God, some said, get up, Dra'Quel. As soon as I open my eyes, it's a cop. It was 2 women cops and a male cop. And he's flashing his lights in the window, saying, wake up, wake up. Officers of Santa Fe, wake up. Officers of Santa Fe PD, wake up. And I'm like, bro, y'all was just in my dream. Like, what the fuck? It was so weird, bro. I get out the car, I'm fucking dead sleep. Like, it's like, at that point, we was only there for an hour. He like, yeah, we got some calls that you were in there doing stuff. I'm like, bro, doing what? We was in here asleep. The other girl, I said, I got a flat tire. What are you talking about? I'm sitting here. It's a problem with me sitting here. Once I said it's a problem with me sitting here, he then was like, yeah, we just heard somebody, went in the store and they keep complaining. So I have to go ask the workers if it's okay if y'all sleep out here. I'm like, bro, my tire's flat. I have nowhere to go. I'm not even from here. And he's like, you didn't call the tow truck? No. Like, why are you asking all these questions? You worried about the wrong shit. I'm in my car asleep. Me and my girl in the car asleep. We're not even worried about nobody. Fast forward, the lady cop was like, what about her? Did she go inside and do anything? I'm like, bro, she's been asleep. What are y'all talking about? Long story short, they leave. And the manager ends up telling me, he's like, yeah, this cop, I called the cops because we got robbed. And I said, so why were they messing with us? I don't know why they were messing with y'all. I told the cops that the person who robbed us had on all gray. I had on all black. Literally all black and a flat tire. So where am I going to go if I'm trying to rob a store? I be here every night, every day. So it was so weird. Then I guess the manager that worked there, he felt so bad. He was the only Native American I ever seen there. And, he ended up trying to give me his spare tire. So then literally try to help me put on a spare tire. It didn't fit. So then the next day, we literally he drove me to the tire shop and I got a new tire. And then he came back and then he helped me put the tire on. And then from that point on, and he was Indian, and not Indian, excuse me, Native American. And his story was like, he said, yeah, man, like he only there because his family's from there. And they don't give him no problems. He's never gotten pulled over, he said, in like 12 years. And he said that he had brothers and sisters, and where he's from, a Native American, wherever it is, they came and like extinct his whole family. Like they made the police where he's from, he knows how the police are, so he felt bad. So the police like made his family leave to the point where his mom, they got kicked out of their hut. His mom ended up dying, his dad ended up dying, his sister ended up dying, and his two other brothers went to jail, and then he was the only one left.
They was on a reserve.
Yes, that's what it's called. Thank you, KB in the cut. Yes, they was on a reserve. So if you look at what a reserve is, you'll see what a reserve is, and that's where they stayed. They got their own police, their own laws, their own everything, so you know what it's like. But yeah, he helped us, and he was the last help, and then we came back to Hobbs of the Slobs, and then I got some money, and then we went to Albuquerque. And then we went to Albuquerque. And Albuquerque was it wasn't racist. It was just because you got brown, you got everything, but it was okay up until this point. So, mind you, in Albuquerque, to get some money, and my girl had to get her equipment because she works from home. She had to get her equipment. So that's why we were there, to get money and her equipment. And so, boom, she gets her equipment. Finally, we had to stay like an extra 5 days or some shit because her job was open certain times, and they was telling her when she can come. So we had to stay there extra time to get her shit because she has to work, clearly. And I'm not going to not help her get her shit. Like, have to. Like, it's my job. But yeah, so we eating salads every day and shit. Like, we went to a gas station. I told the guy, I'm like, if you see this car out here, these black tents, this guy with dreads, whatever, this lady and us in his car, just know that we sleeping out here because we need gas, and we have nowhere else to sleep. You feel me? And she has to use a bathroom, and shit like that. So then boom, that next day comes, and I go inside, and it's a dude, he works there, he has a Challenger. You know about Challenger. I talk about Challenger. He has a fucking Challenger, fucking all blue, scat pack, beautiful. That motherfucker was just sitting pretty. I tell him, like, yo, I'm in there. It was like, it was a man. He then got something, and it was a woman. And I'm like, I'm just saying, you can go ahead. I got to ask him something. I'm telling these people, you can go ahead. I need to get something. Then finally, I told the lady, I told him, I said, like, yeah, look, me and my girl was sleeping outside, so I was wondering if you can give me some gas so we can get home. And he was like, yeah, I saw you. I saw you guys sleeping out there. I heard the car running. And I'm in my head like, why are you laughing? Like, we trying to get home. Like, can you give us some gas? Like, come on, just give us like, whatever you can, just so we can, get some money and go home. Because at that time, I lost DoorDash. So, fucking, he laughed and I just walked out. I got mad and walked out. He said, I'm not allowed to do this, but I'm like, yes, he finna give us some gas. Yes. He like, I usually can't do this, but you can sit at the pump and ask for money. So I sit at the pump. Okay, cool. I tell my girl about the shit. She like, damn, that's fucked up. So the first person I asked, I'm like, hey, excuse me, sir, me and my wife's here out of town. We just trying to get back home. That shit like that. And he like, yeah, I'm trying to move. He's in like a little ass car. He's like, I'm trying to move. I'm in the process of moving, so I can't help you. Second guy asked, I'm like, you got like $2, $5 you can spare so I get some gas? He literally gives me $2 in ones. He pulls out a whole wad of money and gives me $2 in ones. He gives me $2 in ones, so $2. So that's $2. And then it was this military. Then it was this lady. The third person I asked, it was this lady. She pulls up with the card, boop boop, gets the gas. The gas is her shit's going past 80. I'm like, excuse me, ma'am, can I get some, a couple dollars, some change so I'm trying to get home with the woo. My wife this, my wife that. She got kids in the car. I used the pregnant shit. I said, my wife's pregnant, bada bada bada. Can you help out? She goes digging in her purse, throws past the money, doesn't use her card. She digs out $4 in quarters. She got gas. She spent over $150 in gas. Went past the dollars and gave me $4 in quarters. Next person I asked is a military vet. He pulls up. He sees me because I see him. He'd have tents, but he pulls up in like a Mercedes. He pulls up. He pulls right. I'm right here. It's a pump, and then he's right here next to where my car is. I ask him. I walk up. Excuse me, sir. I don't mean to bother. Hold on. I'm trying to get gas right now. I'm like, what? Why the fuck is he being so, Water, drink your water. I'm like, why is he being so, I'm like, I just need some gas. I'm trying to get gas right now. Give us a sec. His wife gets out of the car and is like, what's going on? What's going on? He ain't saying shit to her or whatever. She's looking so fucking sad. He gives me $2. He gave me $1 or $2, one of those two. And then I'm like, damn, that was fucked up. So then I go to the car. I'm telling my girl. She's like, that was rude. I'm like, man, we need a black person. We need a brother or somebody that's of color to help. That's all we need. That's all we need. And as soon as I told her that, the guy from Chicago. I'm from Indianapolis. Chicago was 2 hours away. I got family in Chicago. And when I was in Indiana, everybody I ever met, they thought I was from Chicago. As soon as I said that, though, he pulls next to me. I'm like, hey, OG, excuse me, man. Me and my girl, the same story. And then he like, oh, yeah, what you need, man? What you need, youngster? He fills my car up, bro. I'm like, I kept saying, you want me to stop right here? You want me to stop right here? Do you want me to stop right here? He like, nah, bro. He said he got mad at the gas. He like, bro, your shit only take 9 gallons? You don't even get 12 gallons, 10 gallons? He like, bro, like, he was pissed at the gas. Filled the car, he put like 45 in my shit. Got me the gas and then shit. He's a subscriber, so if you're watching this, shouts out to you. I made it home. Shouts out to you, bro. I made it fucking home, bro. Blessings. But like, yeah, man. Albuquerque was fried. It took for a black man, not a man with a Challenger, that worked there. Not a man that was moving, who didn't have none in his car. He had a Beetle. Not a woman who had kids in the car and put over 100 in her car and passed all the dollars. Not a U.S. vet who was rude, gave me $1. Not a guy who gave me literally $2 and like literally $2. Took for the black guy, and he was telling me, yeah, it's a land of entrapment, and he's from Chicago, and you know, if you like that out here, they don't care about you, and this, that, and the third, and then, you know, he subscribed, and he was happy as fuck. He was cool as hell, and you know, he subscribed, and then shit, we left Albuquerque. We ended up getting her equipment. I think that next day, we got her equipment, had some Jason's Deli, fucking fire, and then shit, we went home. Whole ride home, my girl do tarot. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that channel, man. Stay tuned for that ending, that person y'all finna see. Stay tuned. I'm gonna let her introduce herself. But she does tarot, and she getting good readings, you know, fruition, you know, money, everything you can think of. Just, I'm into angel numbers. She's into tarot. So you got the tarot and you got the numbers. But she was getting so many boom, 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 boom. And then shit, we made it home. I mean, we ain't leaving. We ain't never going nowhere else. If we ain't going to Wingstop or Walmart, the mini mall, Walmart, we ain't going no fucking where. We ain't going to get gas. We ain't going to get a goddamn black. We ain't going to goddamn outside. We staying in the house, nigga, quarantining. You feel me? But yeah, man, like, New Mexico, bruh, not it. Colorado, not it, man. Then I told you about Dallas. Dallas is not it. Texas is going to be it, but y'all see that when y'all see that. I ain't going to tell y'all because I don't need you fucking still in the apartment we're trying to get. So I'm not going to tell you shit. You just going to see it when you see it. I ain't going to tell you where, what part of Texas. You're going to be wishing and hoping and wishing and hoping. So you ain't going to fucking know. So you can't beat me to applying because nigga needed some money and nigga, you're not finna get that shit. So Texas is where we moving, nigga. That's it. That's all you know, Texas. But yeah, though, man, New Mexico is not it, bro. It was a blessing to come here. You know, if y'all know, me and Kennedy went to Rio Rancho. That video was at 30 views off 900. So go watch that shit, man. Almost to 1,000 on that shit. New Mexico was not it, man. Nigga lost so fucking much being here, man. You know, lost so much being here, man. But, you know, I gained a lot, too. I gained being humbler. I gained muscle. I gained stability. I gained my girl back. And she now does tarot. And she's now finding herself. And she's now, yeah, she's huh? Breathing. Yeah, you hear her in the back. She's like my, the shit they have on TV. She's that right now. She's breathing. That's coming soon. She got some shit she gonna tell y'all about. I ain't gonna tell y'all what she's getting. She'll tell you about that. But if you made it this far, man, it's your boy Dra'Quel from Dra'Quel Legacy. This is Dra'Quel time. Fucking, I don't know. New Mexico was not it, but it was a blessing to be here. You know, lost a lot, but gained a lot more. But New Mexico, off to that, on to Texas, around my people. Happy Mother's Day to those women out there that are mothers, single women out there that's in a relationship. Happy Mother's Day to y'all for having them kids. Be there for them kids. The kids is the future. They is. But like I say, man, it's your boy Dra'Quel from Dra'Quel Legacy. Like I say, as you grow, I grow. And as I grow, you grow. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Love. Yeah, I told you I got a special guest and 2 special channels coming in the description below. But Kennedy.
What's up, y'all? What's up?
Yeah. This is Kennedy. This is Kennedy, the one I've talked about the whole fucking YouTube saga. Dra'Quel Time 18. I remember her Dra'Quel Time. Dra'Quel Time 18. The one and only KB Kennedy. You know, you see us, you hear me. Yeah. But anyway, though, she's gonna tell y'all about herself. If y'all never heard her talk, y'all never seen her, this is the first of many on my channel, because I know she has not been in any videos. But she's in this video. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name is Kennedy. I'm starting my channels. So I'm gonna do like my own personal channel, and then I'm gonna do a tarot channel, and we're just gonna do spiritual readings, you know, stuff like that. But I am here today with my lovely husband to introduce our family channel.
Yeah, so family channel's coming. I was talking about that shit for a long time. but it's finally coming. There's no baby boy or baby girl yet, but we
Not
starting
yet.
it. We starting it before it get here. Him or her get her. But yeah, man, this is Kennedy. This the one and only Kennedy.
One and only.
The one and only, the one I've talked about for a long fucking time. This her. I finally get to hear her and see her in the flesh. With her fresh ink, you know, and her soul, you know. We ain't gonna feed negativity, but we here to stay. So y'all gonna watch anyway. Get your popcorn, warm up your leftovers, get your noodles, cause we coming for y'all. Road to 100+K, man. Family channel coming. Her channel, her personal channel below. Our family channel below. Subscribe to her channel, our family channel, and my channel if you haven't. You know, like I say, as what? As you grow, I grow. And as I grow,
you grow.
love.
Bye.